Hi everyone. So today I'm here to discuss about a very important topic of modern Indian history, that is the Charter Acts enacted during the rule of British East India Company in 18th and 19th centuries. Clear? As far as British rule is concerned, clear? British parliamentarians wanted to fix the accountability of a private trading company, that is British East India Company, and the court of directors in London. With such objective in mind, clear, British Parliament decided to enact charter acts by the end of 18th century. Clear? It was also decided to review and to renew these charter acts after interval of every 20 years. Clear? British Parliament enacted the first Charter Act in 1793 under the provisions of this act. Clear? Company was given monopoly for another 20 years. So renewal of company's monopoly over India was done for another 20 years. At the same time, under this Charter Act, judiciary was completely separated from the executive. Clear? And at the same time, salaries of British officers were considerably enhanced. Moreover, all the British officers in London looking after Indian affairs, their salaries were to be transferred from India to Britain, amounting to huge remittances, leading to drain of wealth. Clear? Which was highlighted by India's first economic thinker, Dadabhai Naoroji. Clear? After 20 years, the next Charter Act was passed in 1813 under the pressure of free traders in Britain. Free traders demanded that monopoly enjoyed by a private company over India must be abolished. Okay? Therefore, under Charter Act of 1813, the monopoly over trade on India by British East India Company was abolished. Okay? At the same time, British East India Company was allowed to retain monopoly over two items, trade in tea and trade with China. Clear? Moreover, British Parliament sanctioned a sum of rupees 1 lakh for the spread of education in India. Clear? These were two major provisions in the Charter Act of 1813. Clear? After 20 years, the third Charter Act was passed in the year 1833. Under the provisions of this Charter Act, trade monopoly of British East India Company over India was completely abolished, meaning thereby trade in tea, trade with China were also taken away from their exclusive control. Clear? Under this Charter Act only, Governor General of Bengal was authorized to look after the administration of Bombay and Madras provinces, and that resulted into upgradation of Governor General of Bengal to Governor General of India. Clear? At the same time, under Charter Act of 1833, it was decided to include two additional members in the Executive Council, among which one was to be a law member. The first law member was Lord Macaulay. Clear? And under Charter Act of 1833, clause numbering 87 was included, whereby Indians could not be discriminated on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Clear? So very important developments took place in the Charter Act of 1833. After 20 years, the next Charter Act was passed in 1853. Under the provisions of this Charter Act, it was made clear that Indian civil servants from here shall be selected on the basis of competitive examination, not to be appointed by court of directors. Clear? This single provision marked the beginning of merit-based bureaucracy in India. Clear? Under the Charter Act of 1853, the numerical strength of court of directors was reduced from 24 to 18. And finally, it was decided to establish Central Legislative Council apart from Governor General's Executive Council at Calcutta. Clear? These were Charter Acts. The last Charter Act of 1853 proved to be the last Charter Act, because very soon mighty and popular revolt broke out in northern and central part of India, which led to radical restructuring of Indian affairs and which was done under the provisions of Government of India Act 1858, enacted by British Parliament, which is also known as Act for Better Administration in India. Thank you.